Okay, flow here. Doing a IRL stream. No idea if everything will work, but I'll try it. Ugh. Hopefully it's working. Let's see, let me try it. I need to fix something here real quick. Okay. Oh, it's always a bear to set up these streams on the go. I'm using the exact same setup as I did last time, a few weeks ago. So in theory, everything should work fine. In theory, that's always the theory, but something can always go wrong without me knowing why sometimes. Okay. So one thing that I don't really know about this location is if I will have a sustained, continuous signal all the way through. I have an amazing signal right here, like ridiculously good. I would say it's the best signal I've ever had, except not necessarily in all the ways that matter. So like, kind of out in the middle of nowhere. I'm not that far from like where there's houses and stuff. So, but out in the middle of the forest basically. And when I did a speed test, it showed 160 megabits download speed. That's better than a lot of people get, like in the middle of a city with 5G or something. It's ridiculously good. But the upload speed isn't nearly that good, and that's all that really matters for live streaming. But it's still, like right here, it's good. It's good enough. I think it was like 8 megabits up or something, which is, it's always annoying to me that like the upload speed is so smaller than the download speed, but it's always like that. And since I'm walking through all these trees and stuff, the signal might just like randomly break up, but hopefully not. And I'm actually not too worried about this signal like right here. I think it'll be fine, but I'm going to be taking a right turn up here at this intersection, and when I do that, I'm going to start kind of going behind this hill that I'm going to climb, and I don't know which side of this hill the cell tower is on that I'm connected to, so if it's on, you know, the left side and I go to the right, I might end up losing the signal entirely. So we'll just play it by ear. I've only been to this location once to my knowledge, according to my hiking records that I keep fairly consistently, and it was like 6 years ago. It's funny though, because when I'm a little bit doubtful of that, because when I got here, it was like, it looked so familiar, like maybe I came here a lot more recently and I just haven't like updated my GPS record stuff. I don't know, but either way, I guess it's just really, it looked familiar where I parked and where I started out. So usually I don't remember stuff that well. Okay, we got an issue here where I gotta figure out which way to go. Shoot, I should have thought about this, but this could be a problem if I have to. How am I gonna figure this out? Let me check. I mean, this looks like a way up right here to me. I could just experiment, like Let's try stuff. This little path does not show up on my GPS, so whatever this is, it's not like a official road, whereas this one over here is on my GPS, I think. Yeah, there's so much glare I can't see anything. Yeah, I don't know, I'm kind of tempted to go this way because unfortunately I can't look at my previous map. I went to all the trouble to download the route that I took last time 6 years ago onto my phone, but I didn't really think about it very well because it's on the phone that I'm streaming with, so I can't really access it without messing up the stream. That's one fairly major disadvantage of streaming this way, is that since I'm using my phone, I can't lose focus of my streaming app without messing the stream up, which someday that might be something that the developer of this app can figure out, but as it is now, it's a problem. Okay, I need to see if I can balance my phone. It seems a little bit not quite balanced. Okay, might be a little bit better. So definitely got some wind. I'm hoping the rain doesn't blow in. It's not like there's not a prediction of rain here, but it's one of those things where it's more like what you see is what you get, like literally. Like, don't trust the weather report, just look up in the sky and it's gonna be the weather. I don't really trust the forecasts. And it's also one of those things I've never really understood, like the percentage thing. I think it said like some percentage for the day, like let's say it was like 18% or something. But if you look at each hour throughout the day, it's 0, 0, 0, 0 all the way throughout. So it's like, what? Where's that 18 coming in when it's 0 everywhere? But I don't know, it doesn't matter. So yeah, I don't know what this trail is all about, because this either was not here when I came here 6 years ago, or, oh, this might answer my question. So now it's like randomly splitting into two kind of paths. We got this one right here and this one right here, and both of them look like they kind of disappear. So my guess is that this is probably just roads that were cut to do forestry work, or, you know, cut down trees to prevent fires or whatever. So this might just disappear into nothing, because I don't see, well, no, maybe it curves around. Let me check. It looks like it ends right here, but maybe it turns to the left and keeps going up. We'll see. Like, it kind of, there's kind of a trail there. There's kind of a trail here. I'll keep going for a while, because if it goes all the way up, I may as well take this. And I always enjoy exploring routes that I potentially haven't done before. Okay, so this one definitely kind of disappears, and I see some old down logs up there. But this other branch that went to the left, now to my right, I feel like it might curve up around. So we'll give this a shot. And even if it doesn't go all the way up, I enjoy exploring every little route or place, whatever. This one's kind of similar. It looks like I can go up a lot higher this way though, but yeah, I'm pretty sure these are like roads that were cut just to get trees down, or forest maintenance type roads. So nobody's gonna be driving up here, but you know, I'm on my feet, so I can navigate just about anything. I wouldn't even need a road. I could just walk straight up the side, but it's always nice to actually have a clearing so you're not going through bushes and stuff. Whew. But to be honest, it doesn't actually look that bad up here so far, so I don't think I'll have to contend with too much of that. Let's see, something. Oh, okay, that's what's going on. Okay, I have, all right. Okay, that's better, I think. Can't remember what mode I normally have my gimbal in, but I had it in a weird mode where it was tilting when I tilt the camera side to side, so I was all trying to figure out why it wasn't balancing. It's because I had it in POV mode or something, so or FPV, first person video, I don't know. I don't normally change the mode, so it must have just changed by accident. Okay. Looks like the signal is still holding out. Hopefully chat's working. I can never tell if there's nobody here to send me a message, but it's kind of hard to test those things too. Okay, good. Just did a test on DLive, good. I think it's working, so I just hate thinking that maybe I am missing a message and not responding. This looks like a good path, actually. It could also be the path that I took the first time I was here, since I can't access my map because it's on the phone I'm using to stream. I can't really tell where I am compared to the track that I did last time 6 years ago. So it's possible I came this way, but I don't think so. I think this is a new path. I mean, new to me. It might have been here for years, but I don't think this is the way I came last time, but I'll figure that out when I get back down and finish the hike and compare my recorded track. It's very steep. It's basically going straight up the side. It's not curving around like a nice gradual spiral, and it's not switching back or anything. It's just pretty brutal straight up. But let's take it slow. Can manage. Whew. Have two possible destinations today. So if I don't spend too much time here, I can maybe have time to go to the second place, but I'm not gonna count on that because it always takes me so long to set these streams up. Trying to type in all the titles and categories and junk. there's looking back behind me. It's always kind of hard to get depth perception on live streams or videos in general or photos. But that's looking down a very steep slope. It probably doesn't really look like that, but whew. I guess if I show like the angle on the side there, you can kind of see it's pretty steep. Same over this way. This is not a bad way to go though. I honestly didn't expect this path to be clear all the way up. This is a legit trail though. Like, it's stupid steep, but it's very clear. So I don't know. This could very well be the way that I went 6 years ago. I just can't remember. If it's the place I'm thinking of that I am envisioning, it's, I don't think it's the same way, because if I remember right, they had like logs and branches kind of marking the path that I came down last time, which is what I'm debating whether this is that. And I haven't seen any similar branches marking this path, so I think this is a new path, which is, like I said earlier, pretty fun. I like to say I've gone down every single path in existence. Well, there's some exceptions. Like, for example, this right here is probably an animal path, like just worn down by animals going that way. It's hard to say. All of this could be animal paths technically, but the one I've been following here has seemed pretty legit. But yeah, there's exceptions. I don't like, oh, I have to go down that path and this path. Someday, if I came here a bunch of times, I would maybe try to do every single way, but looks like the signal is getting bad here for some reason. Hopefully, if I get up a little bit higher, it'll improve again. That's weird. Let's see, so which way? I guess if I turn right, it might be more gradual instead of straight up. Oh, I think it was just like right by that tree. I was standing by a tree and that particular tree was blocking the signal, I guess. Because it just improved as soon as I moved. It's crazy how that can happen. Like, you literally take one step and it goes from 1 megabit to 9 megabits. Like, what? It's crazy. I hope I don't regret going this way though, because if it doesn't go up and it just kind of curves around. Oh, see, there's like all sorts of trails here. I'm encountering another one. Actually, I bet this one that I'm encountering here is the one that I went on last time, and this just kind of joins up with it. That's my guess. I'm pretty sure that's probably true. So if I wanted to, I could go down that way, but I'm gonna go up. This looks like the trail that I kind of remember. It has switchbacks and it's really clear. And I think when you get further down, if I went the opposite direction I'm going, I think that's where those branches and logs marking the trail are that I remember. This is a legit human trail, and some of those other ones might have been animal trails or not as good because they just go straight up instead of reasonable. And we got some nice switchbacks. Cool thing about this trail though is it's probably maintained by people who live nearby. 'Cause it's not on any maps or anything. And when I first came here 6 years ago, I found this trail. And I was just delighted because I don't know, it's cool to see like community members building their own trail. I always thought it would be fun to sort of adopt a mountain or something and get some people to help and try to build a trail all the way up. So there's tons of small mountains and buttes and stuff around here. Most of them don't have any kind of trails. I just like push through all the bushes and stuff. And so it'd be fun to like take one of my favorites that I really enjoy going to and trying to make it more accessible. I don't know what the official rules are for that kind of stuff, like if it's on public land. I think there might be some kind of rules or something, but people probably just do what they want. They're like, let's make a trail. It's not like somebody's gonna come out and stop them or something. It's like a lot of rivers have, I call them user trails. I don't know if that's the best term, but it just, to me, it just means instead of like made by a Forest Service or park rangers or something, it's just made by people that use the trail. Like it gets used so much that it becomes a trail. And you'll see those a lot at rivers because there's like either rafters, kayakers, but more likely fishermen that like go along the bank of the river, and they do it so often that it just creates a natural trail over years. Here's another side trail here that I could take, but I think I'm happy with this one that I'm on. Although it is a little bit eroded. Oh, check out that. That's a cool, perfectly round butte way over there. I don't know if I can zoom in with this, but very cool. I think I know which one that is. Got some mountains over there in the distance. It's already getting pretty scenic up here. I wouldn't have remembered. I actually completely forgot what this place was like because like I mentioned, I haven't been here for 6 years and I only came here once, as far as I know. So I actually looked up my photos that I took 6 years ago just as a reference because I saw this on the map yesterday and thought, oh, I should go there. Haven't been there in a while. I couldn't remember if it was kind of a dud, like nothing interesting, or if it's actually cool. So I looked at my pictures and got some pretty good pictures up here. So I'm kind of have high hopes that it'll be a nice destination, at least worthwhile. Wow, there's all sorts of trails up here. Got a switchback here, which I'll go turn to my left, but it looks like there's also a trail that goes down that way. Got lots of options. I think that one to the right would take me back down somewhere though. Sometimes I wish I could take at least a few pictures, but the video is just so much better. The only disadvantage is when I'm streaming, it's like limited bitrate, so it's not the ultimate quality, but it's still like more of an experience or a better, like good capturing of scenery and memories than random still shots. But so those who have followed my channel for a while, I don't know if I have any like actual people that watch my channel much, but if you do, you would know that I mentioned at some point that I kind of destroyed my 360 camera. I still haven't uploaded the adventure where that actually happened, because I actually captured the destruction of the camera on my recording, so eventually I'll upload that. But anyway, because of that, I haven't been shooting as many 360 videos and uploading them like I was earlier this year or last year primarily. I still hope to get back to that someday, but it might have to, well, it's going to take a back burner, whatever, to other things like the Bible reading and these kind of impromptu adventures where I'm hopefully live streaming or whatever. But it's not that I can't record the 360 videos, but there's this giant scratch in the middle of my lens and it looks pretty trashy. There's a new amazing camera that came out. Insta360 is my brand of choice for 360 cameras. It's arguably way ahead of any other company. There's not really that many companies actively creating 360 cameras these days. It's kind of a niche that seemingly hasn't really exploded that much. Except for Insta360, they kind of dominate the market. Really great products though, and they're relatively affordable. But since I have zero money right now, it'll probably be like a year at least before I can feel responsible to invest enough money to buy that new camera. I guess I didn't say, but they just came out with a new camera. The Insta360 X4, I think it's called, and it shoots in 8K and has a bunch of other cool features. And while it doesn't have everything that I think would be my dream camera, it's basically like a huge leap up from what I had, because I had about a 5-year-old model, at least for 4 years. So it was definitely showing its age, and then now that I destroyed the lens, it's even worse. So yeah, it would be a huge upgrade for me, even though like for people that already have the previous model, the X3, it might not be necessarily worth the upgrade, but for me it would be a pretty giant improvement. But it's like $500, so I'm like, I don't have any money, so $500 sounds like vast wealth. So that's a little out of reach for me right now. Maybe next year Hopefully, Lord willing, that I actually have money at some point. I don't know if that's ever going to change, but oh man. Man, I gotta be getting close. I've been going up and up and up this whole time. Doesn't really look like I'm that close though. It's a decent sized butte. So yeah, I'll probably do a Bible reading once I get up there, and then that'll give me enough time to hang out and catch my breath, and then I'll probably head down, possibly do a second live stream somewhere else if there's any time left, but might be up here too long. Whoa. This path is a little bit slanty and eroded, but it's pretty good. It's not, like, to my standards, this is an amazing path, but most people would be like, I think it kind of sucks. But I'm used to like no path, so any kind of path is a good path in my book. You can almost see the river down there. It's a little bit hidden, but I can see the bank. Technically, I can see a tiny piece of the river, but not really significant. There's a nice opening there. Oh, switchback. Oh, cool. Almost can see interesting scene. Maybe like right up here I can see it through the trees. Nope. It's like this cool cabin down there with the river in front of it. Just got a tiny glance of it. All right, we got that way, which doesn't really look like a way, and straight up right here, which is the way I'm gonna go. Got something needly pokey in my shoe. I'd like to stop and get it out, but I think I'll just wait till I get to the top. It's too annoying to set all my gear down and take my shoe off. Kind of wondering when mosquito season's gonna start. I've seen a few, like not today necessarily, but like I've seen a few over the last week or week and a half. They're usually in the shade and stuff, but probably means that mosquito season is just about to hit. And that will make it not nearly as enjoyable to be out, but I'll probably, like if I have free time, I'll still try to brave the mosquitoes. So I don't like being told when I can and can't go someplace just by some stupid little insect. But man, when they're swarming, it's it's almost unbearable sometimes. But I do have decent repellent that works okay, but yeah, it's not my favorite experience, that's for sure. I think it was last year that it was pretty bad. Like I pretty much stayed inside for a period of time just because it was, even just walking outside the house, just right outside the door, you immediately get swarmed. It's a pain in the butt. And I bought one of those bug zapper things, just thinking, like I didn't know what else to buy, like everything else was sold out. And I think it's because the mosquitoes were so bad last year that all the normal products in the stores that people use just sold out really quick. And the only thing I even had as an option was one of those electric bug zappers, and basically did nothing. So if you're wondering if those things actually work for mosquitoes, I would say as a general rule, no, they don't. Like, they will capture some mosquitoes, but not like all of them, and they are more effective at killing moths than the mosquitoes. Like basically if a mosquito is anywhere near and it has the option to go toward you or the bug zapper, it's going to go toward you anyway, so it doesn't really keep them away from humans. It just kills like some of them, like a small percentage of the total number of mosquitoes, so basically useless. But yeah, I don't even know what works. I also got some, what do you call those, citronella candles. And I tried that, and I couldn't really tell if it was working or not last year. It's one of those placebo effects, like you have some product that's supposed to help, and so you just believe in it and think it's working, but in reality it might not be doing much or anything. I'll probably try that again this year though, just see if I can get them to work. That's a nice scene right there. Okay, I think I'm genuinely getting pretty close to the top. That's my sense, but sometimes I say that and then it's like not even close. Okay, now I can kind of see the river and I can see that cabin that I was talking about again. Let me see if I can get a good angle on that. It's really hard to zoom with this app. Super annoying. Let me see. think it's just doing digital zoom, so it probably doesn't look very good, but at least you can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, whatever that pokey thing is in my shoe, it's super annoying. It's probably in my sock. It's usually the way it goes. It's embedded in my sock from a previous hike or something. I had a flashback. I lived up in the Spokane, Washington area for a little while, like a long time ago, and they have so many I don't know what to call them, just prickly things, thorns and briars and I don't know, weird little pokey things all over the place. And I went on so many hikes when I lived there. Every single time I came home, my socks were completely covered with those pokey things, so I would have to just sit down for an hour just individually pulling them through the fibers of the socks. It was super annoying. Oh, sweet. Now I can kind of see the river, but it's so hard to zoom in that probably doesn't look very impressive from this angle. It's really windy here though. No, never mind. I was gonna say I think this area is a place that I've been, but I can see fancy houses down there along the river, so it's probably all privately owned, unfortunately, so I don't think oops, why is it zooming in? I was trying to zoom out. There we go. So yeah, I don't think I could explore that area without going on somebody's property, which I'm always pretty careful to avoid as best as I can. Also, speaking of that, when I did live up in the Spokane area, it seems like everywhere around there is, everything that's cool is privately owned. Most of it anyway. I feel like in Oregon there's less lakes and rivers that have a ton of private ownership along the banks, and so you can enjoy it as a explorer like me without trespassing and stuff. But up there it was every single river and lake had whatever beachfront property on it, super fancy houses, and so I felt like I couldn't hardly explore anything. And it was kind of when I was up there, I did a lot of extra research on property ownership type maps and things, because I wanted to make sure I didn't trespass or end up in somebody's backyard. And it did happen once. There's this trail that was not private, and then all of a sudden it dead ended in somebody's backyard, and there was somebody actually out in their yard and stuff, and so I asked them oh shoot, is this private property? And they're like, yep. Sorry, didn't know. But it's actually happened surprisingly few times, mainly because I try to do my research, and I always respect people's property. If I'm aware that I'm getting near, I just avoid it or turn back. And then this one other time, somewhere in Oregon, I was hiking, and there's this actual trail on All Trails that has a bunch of reviews and stuff nobody really mentioned it, but apparently the trailhead is like on private property, and there's super cranky neighbors there that like they're super proactive about it. So anytime they see someone driving up there and parking, because there's sort of this parking area, they'll actually come out of their house and walk down there and say, hey, you know, you're not supposed to be here. It's like, oh, shoot. I didn't know. So it's weird because in that particular case, the All Trails reviews didn't say anything about that. And sometimes you wonder if it's like not actually private and there's just some stingy neighborhood person that's just trying to convince the whole community that it is private so they can have, you know, nobody else going up there. But either way, I don't care. I'm not the type that like argues with property owners. And, you know, I guess if I was in a situation where I knew for sure, like it was a super famous trailhead and like everybody goes there, and some neighbor came over and told me they didn't want me there, I'd be like, sorry, but this is like trailhead for a famous hike, so, you know, it's not something you should be worked up about. But yeah, I haven't actually had that scenario yet, but I usually just try to keep the peace. And like I said, it's only even been an issue at all I think those 2 times is about it, and I've gone on like over 1,000 hikes now. It looks like the signal's kind of crud. Wasn't watching. Hopefully it'll get better up here somewhere. I don't really understand either, because I'm up above the trees now. You'd think it would get better, but it's probably what that means is the cell tower is not behind me. It's on my right or left, and the hillside is probably blocking it a bit. So hopefully when I get to the top, I'll have line of sight with some cell tower somewhere. And normally when I get this kind of a clear angle, I get a way better signal, but right here it's pretty poor. Except the view is awesome though. For some reason I'm stuck right at 1.7 megabits, which is not good enough for live streaming. But yeah, hopefully it'll improve when I get to the top. It's possible that my carrier is rate limiting me or something. I don't know. Haven't had that happen that I'm aware of. Okay, I'm almost to the top where I should have line of sight in pretty much every direction. I wish I had a good signal here, because this is a great spot. Super nice view. Seems to be shielded from the wind, but the signal here is crap. Oh, let's see what we got up here. Whew. fact that it's stuck at exactly 1.7 megabits makes me think that it's an intentional limitation and not related to the signal strength. I could also restart the app to see if it connects at a better speed. I might try that. Problem is I can never tell for sure if it actually comes back up, so I don't really have a way to preview my live stream. But I might do that because if it's not going to get any better than 1.7, it's going to look like crap. Hey D-Clams, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Sorry, my stream is suddenly cut to really low bit rate. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it out, but I'll try. I think I'm going to reset my video feed and see if I can get a better signal here. Sweet, I think that worked. Now it's showing 6 megabits, so I think it was just hung up on some crap connection. I just needed like a kick in the pants to reset and do a better job. So hopefully it's actually showing. Sometimes when I reset it, it doesn't come back. So let me check, see if I can see if it's working. Okay, it looks like it is working. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go back. Well, I'll explore it just a little bit, but I'm gonna probably go back to that first place that I said was good because it had a nice view and the wind was shielded. And as long as the signal is recovered over there, it should be a good place to sit. This is the actual summit right here, but other than like through those trees right there, there's not nearly as good of a view as there was back in that other spot. So I'll check over this way real quick, and if there's nothing exciting over here, I'll go back to that other spot. Yeah, I don't see anything. This might be a trail down though that I could take on my way back or something, but okay, so yeah, let me head over here. Let's see. I mean, I could just go right over this way, maybe. This is basically that same spot. Hey Dale, what you doing, or how you doing? One of those expressions. I'm just learning basic English. I don't really know how to put words into sentences very well yet. Shh, I am not here. Okay. If you say so. Am I blacklisted? So I'm like on the bad list, so nobody wants to associate with me anymore. Sometimes I feel like that's the case. Gotta hide in the shadows. Don't say hi to Flo. He's that weirdo. Nice view, yeah. I agree. Yeah, so this is a perfect spot. I'll just set up my tripod and my chair and do a daily Bible reading while I'm up here, and then head back down. So it'll take me a few minutes to get set up. I need to find the best angle. Probably right here. I'll just sit like right down there. That'll work. What? No, it's simply that DLive has withered away, sad but reality. Oh yeah, well, we all know that. That's been obvious for the last, what, 2 years, 3 years? I don't know. Certainly compared. The funny thing is there's people that come to it like, you know, as newcomers, and they don't even know what it was like before, and they think, wow, this is a decent site, you know? And it really is. It's not a bad site, but there's just, it's a shadow of its former self because everybody's left. But I was kidding about the I'm not here thing. Yeah, no, it's totally okay. I was being sarcastic as well. I don't actually, well, there are probably people that have blacklisted me because I'm all about religious stuff and Bible and all that. But I know you're not one of those people, so I was just kind of joking, but kind of, you know, there's always a little bit of hint of truth in sarcasm, at least a lot of the time. Okay, let me, and I don't blame people, you know, I don't think little of people who want to avoid religious stuff. You know, most people are into the streaming world for entertainment. It's all mostly mindless, kind of just sit back and relax and escape the world. And so I don't think my content qualifies in that category anymore. I think when I first started, I did a lot more of that kind of stuff, but I just, and you know, this would qualify until I start reading the Bible. Okay. Let me get my tripod set up. Let's see, what all do I need out of here? Oh, I need a drink. My voice almost left me on my way up just because I was talking like non-stop the entire time, like a good streamer is supposed to do. It's kind of funny, I am not a talker at all, but for whatever reason when I'm live streaming IRL, I tend to jibber jabber more than other times. One reason I no longer stream, wasn't good at it, so shifted gears to supporter. That works for me. Yeah, well, I totally get it. Honestly, I was never good at it, and that's why my channel has never grown, and that's why, just for the sake of my own sanity, I just gave up on that pretty soon after I started. And then I saw, like, like this is reality. Nobody can argue this, even all your, not your, but anybody's like fake encouragement. I see right through it because I know I know the reality. I produce cool content. Like, my content is of a high quality and interesting stuff, but because I don't have that personality type that people find funny or infectious, or I'm not like a Zoomer or whatever, you know, doing crazy stuff. Because of that, because I'm old and grown up and not doing crazy kid stuff, like TikTok style stuff, I'll never be a successful streamer. But like I've said so many times already, and probably people are getting tired of hearing it, I just kind of gave up on that and didn't let it get me down. Maybe the IRL streams help you to relax, then yappity yap. I don't know what it is. I think, yeah, I can't even analyze why I get more yappity yap on my IRL streams. It's kind of weird, because I'm totally not a talkative person at all. Okay, let's see. But you wouldn't be able to tell from today's stream. I've been literally talking ever since I started, pretty much. I enjoy call-ins. Spoke with Gibbs the other night. Was really good combo. Yeah, you guys always do great. You're a good. I don't know what the word is. You know how to keep a conversation going. That's the kind of stuff that I would absolutely tank at, or I don't know if that's the right word. I would suck at that. Like, even with my best friends that I've been friends with for like 30 years or something, even when I'm hanging out with them, it's like hard for me to keep the conversation going. I'm just not, that's not my gift. And I think I'm super awkward in person, even with people that I like. I think even my parents and best friends are like, probably feel awkward around me a bit. Just, I mean, they're used to it by now, so it's like they know what to expect, but I always wonder what they're thinking, like, so, yeah, let's not talk at all. That's great. Yeah, I'm just not good at conversation. Okay. I didn't see that live stream live, but I noticed that it happened. I clicked on the replay on DLive. The stream that I actually saw, I didn't actually chat with Gibbs. Second, I gotta get this thing. Oops, shoot. That's gonna kill the stream. I hate this. Some kind of level of awkward is kind of cute, though. Guys aren't supposed to use the word cute referring to other guys. I'm pretty sure that's still a faux pas, except that the word faux pas is ancient. There's got to be a new word for faux pas. Hey, faux pas, faux pas. Okay, let's see. All right, I think that's a good angle. Okay, let's see. What do I need to do? Unhook this one, leave the battery back here, pull out my second battery. The ladies like it at times, the little boy inside the man. Yeah, except here's the thing. Women are, it's funny, most men, and just the general rule of thumb in the world says, like, who can figure women out, like men don't get it, all this stuff. I feel like I understand women pretty well. I'm actually fairly sensitive, and I don't think I'd call myself necessarily feminine, but I've always been artistic and emotional, and you know, so I understand a lot of that kind of stuff better than the average. But like, here's the thing that's crazy about all that. Like, you're right. like in the initial stage, like when you're just getting to know a girl, that's one of the best ways to kind of show that you're kind of interested in them and I guess flirt in a way. But like as soon as you're actually in the relationship for any period of time, they get annoyed at your jokes, like they're old and they don't laugh at them anymore and they kind of wish you'd grow up and stop acting like a kid. It's just it's one of those things that only works for like a short period of time, unfortunately. And people like me that are just naturally goofy, like for the long term, they just don't score too well. Oh shoot, you know what? What? Oh, I thought I left my chair, and I was thinking, how is that possible? But I didn't. I just had it in a weird place. Bruh, I wasn't calling you cute. I'm taking... I don't know if I knew that. Did I know that? I don't know if I knew that. I feel like I did not know that you had a significant other. Is that recent, or have you had somebody this whole time and you just didn't talk about it that much? Everyone gets bored with the same old combos. I think it's sad though, like all that charm that like made you drawn to the person like wears off. Like for me, I don't know if all guys are like this, but I feel like women constantly, I mean, this is very generic and it's very stereotypical speech, but it seems like a pretty strong pattern that I've noticed, not just in my own sparing relationships, which is very few, but I just see it in general. It seems like women constantly need the latest, best thing, including, or especially the guy. Like you gotta keep her happy with upping the ante all the time. Gotta take it to the next level. Like whereas me, at least, I don't know about most guys, but I'm happy with what I got in the first place. Like if I'm in a relationship, it's for life and I don't need you to change or get more interesting or more like exciting or do something different than last time or whatever. It's like, if I chose you and I love you forever and I'm never gonna stop loving you and you're not gonna cease to be interesting. To me, like love is a constant fire that never goes out, and I'm kind of surprised that I always feel like, at least in the old days, I think things are changing because of the whole feminist movement. Sorry to get political, but I think it used to be that girls were into romance and love and chemistry and all that stuff, but now I feel like they're trying to be too much like men and they just want to like get the hottest guy with the most money. And I know that's not all girls, but it sure seems like a lot of them these days are like that. And so guys like me that are just old-fashioned and into religion and old-time ethics and traditional, guys like me are just outmoded. We don't have a chance. There's nobody left in the world for people like me, for the most part. I know that's not entirely true. Somewhere out there's some old-fashioned women. I live in Oregon, where progressive stuff is where it's all about, and I don't see any women like that. To me, it's like the whole world has changed and they don't exist anymore. So I know it's kind of jaded. I have a girlfriend a couple years now, head over heels in love. That's awesome. Truism comes to mind. Men fall in love and want their lady to never change. Inevitably, they do though. Now, women want their man to change and they inevitably don't. Exactly, you nailed it there. Like basically what I feel like women, the most basic thing is they want a Ken doll. Like they grew up essentially playing with Barbies. This is just a stereotype, but I think the the idea is sound. Like, they grew up wanting to have a Ken doll that they could dress up and make however they want. So if they see a messed up dude, they just assume, well, I don't really like everything about him right now, but oh, surely I can change him. As soon as he's mine, I'll just dress him up with the fashions and the behaviors that I want him to have, instead of like actually loving him for who he really is. And that seems to be a very common, prevalent pattern with women in general. And I don't know. I want to be loved for who I am. I don't want to have somebody that only loves me in a fake way because they see like my potential, and if they could have their way and change me completely. That's just like, nope. Makes maintaining a relationship challenging, yeah. And it's not that I'm unwilling to change, it's more just like, do you even love me? Because it seems like the image that you're, like, it almost immediately in a relationship, it becomes like, okay, I chose you back then, but you gotta keep changing, or I'm gonna unchoose you pretty fast. And it's just like, that is, to me, that's repulsive. Like, I would never, if I couldn't find a woman that was not like that and just loved me for who I was, I never want to be with anybody ever again, because that's just complete, for me, that's awful. And I don't even, to me, that's not even love. That's just like, it's a false reality that I don't want to have anything to do with. But I know, let's get on a more cheery subject. I'm blessed. My girlfriend and I are so good together. That's awesome. Really happy for you. People that I care about, they're that I've known for a long time, whenever I hear that something good has come to them, I'm just like very, very happy to hear every time. I actually kind of have sort of come to the conclusion that I'm probably going to be single for the rest of my life. Yet to even have a single argument, that's new for me. That's awesome. And arguments aren't the end of the world, you know. It's not like, oh, it's over because we had an argument. Arguments usually mean that you're both fighting for the relationship and getting to know each other, working through stuff. Like, I don't know of any relationship that never has a fight over, you know, multiple years. But yeah, so I'm not afraid of that at all. It's more just, I'm not even afraid of a relationship. I think I'm to the point now, and this could change, don't get me wrong, like, I'm so interested in God, and I feel like the time is so short for either me. I just have this sense that either my time is short or the world's time is short. That I'm not like formally committing to this, but I sort of feel like my life is in God's hands completely, and I know that's true for any believer, any follower of Jesus. But I think more in my particular case, I feel like, even though it's not my highest ideal, I feel like what's that verse? I'm not very good at summoning verses, but Lord help me to remember part of it so I can quote a little bit. If you save your life, if you try to save your life, you will lose it. But if you lose your life for my sake, you will gain it. There's that verse, and then there's what Paul talks about. In his opinion, he doesn't say this is from the Lord, I think, but in his opinion, it's better to be single because much trouble comes with relationships, plus you're not as available for the kingdom of God. Obviously there's exceptions. If you find a person who like wants to do the same thing with their life in regards to their faith and their mission and stuff, then you both can like feed off each other's energy and go the same direction. Like, for example, missionary couples that I've met, you know, they both want to do it, so all of their passion goes in the same direction. But so for me, I don't want to have a relationship if it's going to take away from my direction towards the Lord, because I want him to use my life as much as he's willing to. This is what I've wanted for my whole life, but right now I don't want anything else except to serve him, and I can't see a future reality where I wouldn't be distracted if I was in a relationship. And that doesn't mean I'm going to become somebody great or a pastor or a missionary or anything important, but all I care about right now is the Lord, and I don't want to have my attention divided right now. So yeah, same. Love when friends are having a good time, good things in their lives. Yeah, Flo, I had basically given up. She had as well. Then God smushed us together over and over again. That's awesome. That's a great story. You guys should one of these days, it's like when you're part of the live streaming community, it's almost like you have to expose your life to your friends on the live stream. It's like, because we all want to know. It's not necessarily gossip. It's just like, since I can't talk to you in person, my only experience is like hearing you in chat or on Give's live stream or something. And so it's like, it's my only chance to hear what Dale's up to. And so I'm like, you know how it is, like, tell me the stories. But it's because, like, when you hear that something good has come to somebody that you care about, you just want to hear all about it so you can get encouraged and rejoice with your friend and stuff. Actually, something similar happened with JD Maxx. I don't know if you are familiar with him, if your paths crossed. He's a friend of mine from the past, especially from the Gen Z age. He was like really into Gen Z back then. I think he became one of her mods for a time. And so we always saw each other on her streams, and then he came to my streams quite a bit back then as well. Anyway, he a while back has a girlfriend, and they got engaged. I don't know where it's at right now, but yeah, when I heard that, I was really happy for him. I think right now he asked for some prayer. I kind of knew that was going to happen. So I don't know where they're at right now, but I just happy to hear that, people that I've known for a while finding somebody or getting a good situation. You're on the right path, stick to it, blessings will come when you're meant to. Yeah, and I don't need blessings, like I don't need happiness, I don't need benefits. Like, I'm not in my relationship with the Lord for his benefits. I know there's an actual verse in the Bible about that. It says something about, I think it's one of the Psalms, maybe. It literally has the word benefits in it. But I'm not in it for that. Like, I feel like my life is possibly meant to be more like Job or something. Such that it's not supposed to be necessarily happy and full of like fantastic things that, like, I'm not going to be rich. I might be poor all my life. I might end up living under a bridge or something. I might even die young. Like, and all of that sounds really morbid and negative, but like, I don't care. Like, I actually don't care. I just want to serve the Lord. I don't care what happens to me. My mind is so fixed on eternal things that I don't even care what happens to me right now. And maybe I'll not always feel that way because I'm not like a deeply disciplined or righteous man. I'm not like a prophet who can endure all evils and have books written about me because I'm so pious or something like that. That's not what I mean, but that's all I can think about right now is I just don't care. I just want to serve God, and I think that the more I serve God in this dark world, I think I'm going to be faced with deeper challenges and possibly even tragedy, and I'm okay with that. Like, I would rather serve the Lord and lose my life entirely. Oh, that's the, what good is it if a man gains the whole world but forfeits his soul? That's another similar verse to like what I was talking about earlier. It's like, it is no good. Like, that's so temporary. Like, you're not gonna live forever. You need to, I feel like people need to think more about their souls and their spirits and serving the Lord and knowing what pleases Him and stuff like that. You remember J.D. Maxx, nice. Blessings can mean eternal in the kingdom of our Lord, not necessarily this life. Yeah, and I'm not in it for the blessings. I'm in it because I literally am crazy about the Lord. Like, He might not give me anything. Like the Hebrews 11, I think it is. It's Hebrews 11 or 12, the faith chapter, where it talks about all those heroes of the faith. But at the end, like at the very end of that passage, it says, all of these people that we just listed, they didn't even see in their lifetime the results of their faith. Like, they didn't see the fruit of the promise that God gave them. For just as one example, Abraham didn't see his descendants become as numerous as the sand on the sea or the stars in the sky, but he believed God, and therefore it was credited to him as righteousness. But he didn't actually see what God promised. He just believed it. And I don't care if I never get anything in this life, and I die tomorrow. I don't care. I just can't stop pursuing the Lord because nothing at this point in my life matters. It's all meaningless. But that's just me. That's where I'm at. I don't really expect that to be the thing that everybody's supposed to do. It's just when I read scripture, I take it literally, and I just read that kind of stuff over and over again. I guess I'm kind of not an extremist by any means. And I'm not overly pious or zealous either. I'm kind of lazy and messed up, but I can't get my mind off all the things that matter to me, so I just gonna keep doing that. Sometimes I have doubts, and I do not like that doubt. Strange combo, scary, and I don't know, hard to explain. Yeah, I've been there too. I don't know that I've ever doubted God's existence or doubted His general promises. My doubt usually comes in the form of doubting my salvation or doubting that it's like, I don't doubt God's ability to save. It's just like when I feel so messed up and sinful and rebellious and lazy or something, or my whole life is just going to garbage, I just wonder, like, does that mean in those dark times I just think, did He give up on me? Did I go so far off the rails, or somehow unknowingly denied Him so that He has, whatever. That's generally where my form of doubt comes, is self-doubt. I don't know that I've ever doubted God, except that one could say indirectly, if you're doubting yourself, you're putting your own weakness at a higher strength level than God's power to save and forgive and love. And so, in a way, ever doubting His love is essentially doubting Him, even though to me it feels like I'm just doubting myself. I think there's probably truth in that. I pray for guidance, forgiveness, and maybe health, mental and physical. Basically, that's it. Gotcha. Yeah. Not money or things or popularity. Yeah. I used to do that a lot too, and now like lately I care so little about what happens to me as a person. Like I want to have a passion for his ways. So like, the kingdom, salvation for people, that there would be a change of hearts in the people around me. So lately I've been shifting my gears a little bit, and I still, I think I actually don't like praying for myself anymore, because I don't even know if he'll answer those prayers, but I feel like I know that he wants people to be saved, and he wants the word to be spread, and he wants, to forgive and love and all those things. So I feel like when I'm praying in those directions for kingdom and eternal things, my prayers are going to be effective. Whereas if I pray that my life won't suck and that I'll get a job and that I'll have money again and I won't be in debt and I won't be relying on my parents, I don't know if he'll answer that, because maybe that's the path that he actually wants me to go through in order to grow my faith in him. And so I don't want to just take away whatever he's growing in me by trying to pray it away. And when I do try to pray it away, it doesn't seem to work, so I kind of have stopped doing that. Good point about God's love. I like that. I was born again, age 22. I'm far from perfect, but I'm saved, and that's enough. Yeah. Yep, it is enough. If you just continue to believe that, that's all that's necessary. I don't really believe that everybody needs to be some crazy missionary or have their lives resemble somebody in the Bible and all this extreme stuff. However, in my life, I can't give up on those things, because I've been a Christian pretty much my whole life, and even at the age of 6, I think it was, apparently I told my great-grandma, who lived to be like 93 or something. She remembers, I don't really remember this, but apparently when I was like 5 or 6 or something, I told her that I wanted to grow up and be a pastor or something. And I've never gotten that out of my mind. Like I thought I was supposed to go to Bible college after high school. I applied at 2 different colleges and got no financial aid, and it just felt like super discouraging and depressing, and so I just felt like God was not supporting that direction, and so I just started working. I couldn't afford to go to college, and I've tried numerous times since then. Like I actually quit my job back in 2015, thinking that I was gonna move overseas somewhere and just become a missionary. So I tried to apply to another Bible college then, and tried to take some foreign language classes, and it just felt like God has always been closing every door, and yet the desire to serve him in some more substantial way has never gone away, and I'm not happy with anything else that I do. Like just getting some random job and doing the normal life stuff has never been satisfying for me. But it doesn't seem like when I try to do those things that he backs me up or makes miraculous things happen, because I say miraculous because I know I can't do any of that stuff like without his strength. I mean, you all know me. I can't even talk straight. I have anxiety and depression sometimes, and I'm not good at talking and all that stuff. I'm quiet and reserved and shy, and so none of that adds up to anything that God, or that should be useful to him. But the reason I'm able to look past that is just because the Bible's full of freaks that don't have any skills, and it seems like God likes to use those kind of people, because then he gets the glory for it instead of them. And the Bible talks all about that stuff, but for some reason in my case, I seem to be the exception where I guess I'm just so unusable that he has to just keep breaking me down over and over and over again because I'm not ready, or I don't know what his requirements of me are. But I'm not going to give up on it because I feel like I have nothing left in this world. So anyway, human weakness is God's strength. Totally. I 100% agree, and I'm very well aware of that. I've studied that my whole life. So I know that I'm in a good spot. Like, the more faith you have in Him to overcome your weaknesses, the more He's able to use you. And I feel like I have that faith, and yet for some reason He doesn't step in and fill my lack in order to make me something of His glory. I don't know why. I can't complain, because maybe it just means that He doesn't want me to do that. But I feel like I can't live without serving Him in more and bigger ways. I'm not happy with myself or with life unless I'm pursuing Him all the time. And most of my depression comes from like wanting to serve Him or make my life count for something, and then when I try, it just fails all the time. So I just feel like a failure. Or like even though I know you don't have to be good for God to use you, it feels like I'm not even good enough for Him to transform me and use my weakness or something, because no matter how many times I try, He doesn't seem to take what I have to offer and multiply it, I feel like someday I'm just going to be told, "You worthless and lazy servant," like some of those parables. Like, it's just like the guy, the one that had the one talent, that hid the talent and gave it back to the Lord in the end, and God said, "You wicked and worthless servant." Because I haven't seen any great fruit. Like, I'm certainly not the guy that had 5 talents and brought 5 more, or the guy that had 10 and gave God 10 more. I just feel like not much has happened as a result of my desire to serve Him, and I just feel like I'm just useless. So that's kind of why I started doing the Bible reading thing, because like I can't go out and evangelize and have people respond and like get a bunch of people saved. Like, you see all these amazing speakers and stuff, like just they speak like 2 words and people are like fumbling over themselves and like crying and like wanting to turn to the Lord. I can't do that or anything like that. I don't have some powers that changes people's hearts. So I can't really seemingly do anything in the spiritual world, even when I pray to ask God to help me to do it. So what I can do, I can read the Bible. Yay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but I think that's all I can do right now, because He hasn't given me some place where I do something and it makes a difference. I guess that's what it feels like anyway. So I just have to do what I can do and hope that I'm at least I'm the guy with 1 talent, and I at least bring the banker's interest back to the master when he comes to collect his multiplication or something, whatever. I just hope that He at least uses me enough to get 6% interest in the end. Something, so He doesn't say, "You wicked and worthless servant." Anyway, okay, I need to get going on the reading, otherwise I'll never do it. I brought the things, so Let's see. This is what I was made for. This is all I can do. I can read the Bible. This is all I can do. I just thought of a song. I can't sing it or anything, but I can at least read the lyrics. Let's see. All right, since I heard the wind, I'll just sing. I'm not going to sing this song. There's no way I could sing it, but it's called Rushing Wind by Keith Green. He's probably my favorite singer of all time. Rushing wind, blow through this temple, blowing out the dust within. Come and breathe your breath upon me. I've been born again. Holy Spirit, I surrender. Take me where you want to go. Plant me by your living waters. Plant me deep so I can grow. Jesus, you're the one who set my spirit free. Use me, Lord. Glorify your holy name through me. Separate me from this world, Lord. Sanctify my life for you. Daily change me to your image. Help me bear good fruit. Every day you're drawing closer. Trials come to test my faith. But when all is said and done, Lord, you know it's been worth the wait. Jesus, you're the one who's set my spirit free. Use me, Lord. Glorify your holy name through me. Rushing wind blow through this temple, blowing out the dust within. Come and breathe. Oh. Come and breathe your breath upon me, for I've been born again. Okay, that was hard. Imagine me trying to sing that. No way! Oh, such a good song. Such a good song. I encourage anybody to check out Keith Green, back from the 70s and 80s. Best writer ever. Powerful songs, amazing. All right, let's see if I can get some reading done. The only reason I feel obligated to do it now is because I actually gave my stream the title, so I gotta read. Otherwise, I'd probably just end the stream because I'm kind of a mess, but let's see. Okay. Gotta read all of Ruth. I don't know how big it is. Hopefully it's not crazy big. Otherwise, got a long stream to go. Let's see, how do I get rid of this junk? Thanks, Dale. Thanks, Dale. Appreciate it. All right. Let's see if we can read. Got the entire book of Ruth, which I have no idea how long that is. Hopefully it's not like 10 chapters or something. Ruth and Acts chapter 6. Let's see if we can get through this. We've got 4 chapters, looks like. Never did take a drink. Ugh. All right. Well, I guess I'll call that song my prayer, because there's no way I could pray anything as eloquent as that today. That's my prayer before the reading. Okay, let's start with Ruth chapter 1. Why is it doing this? It keeps having this stupid pop-up on the app here. It's driving me insane. I don't know how to get rid of it. Go away. Get out of my face, man. Super garbage. How do I get rid of that junk? What? This is trash. I was born again. Oh, wait. Whoops. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it won't go away. It's super garbage. All right, Ruth chapter 1. Oh, interesting. It's like it does kind of continue where Judges left off. That's cool. In the days when the judges ruled, there was a famine in the land, and a certain man from Bethlehem in Judah with his wife and 2 sons went to reside in the land of Moab. The man's name was Elimelech, his wife's name was Naomi, and the names of his 2 sons were Mahlon and Chilion. I don't know. Chilion. They were Ephrathites from Bethlehem in Judah, and they entered the land of Moab and settled there. Then Naomi's husband Elimelech died, and she was left with her 2 sons, who took Moabite women as their wives, one named Orpah and the other named Ruth. And after they had lived in Moab about 10 years, both Mahlon and Chilion also died, and Naomi was left without her 2 sons and without her husband. When Naomi heard in Moab that the Lord had attended to his people by providing them with food, she and her daughters-in-law prepared to leave the land of Moab. Accompanied by her 2 daughters-in-law, she left the place where she had been living and set out on the road leading back to the land of Judah. Then Naomi said to her 2 daughters-in-law, "Go back, each of you, to your mother's home. May the Lord show you loving devotion as you have shown to your dead and to me. May the Lord enable each of you to find rest in the home of your new husband." And she kissed them as they wept aloud and said, "Surely we will return with you to your people." But Naomi replied, "Return home, my daughters. Why would you go with me? Are there still sons in my womb to become your husbands? Return home, my daughters. Go on, for I am too old to have another husband. Even if I thought there was hope for me to have a husband tonight and to bear sons, would you wait for them to grow up? Would you refrain from having husbands? No, my daughters. It grieves me very much for your sakes that the hand of the Lord has gone out against me." Again they wept aloud, and Orpah kissed her mother-in-law goodbye, but Ruth clung to her. "Look," said Naomi, "your sister-in-law has gone back to her people and her gods. Follow her back home." But Ruth replied, "Do not urge me to leave you or to turn from following you, for wherever you go, I will go, and wherever you live, I will live. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God. Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. May the Lord punish me and ever so severely if anything but death separates you and me." When Naomi saw that Ruth was determined to go with her, she stopped trying to persuade her. So Naomi and Ruth traveled until they came to Bethlehem. When they entered Bethlehem, the whole city was stirred because of them, and the women of the city exclaimed, "Can this be Naomi?" "Do not call me Naomi," she replied. "Call me Mara, because the Almighty has dealt quite bitterly with me. I went away full, but the Lord has brought me back empty. Why call me Naomi?